Don't steal our son. Please, lads. Thrills. On XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
Yeah.
Little Carly Pilkington, little baldy mank, whinging little twat. How are you?
Yeah,
Alright?
alright, yeah.
What are you doing? Happy? Feeling a bit happier today? You look as full of spunk, as they say in America.
Yeah, I'm alright. Just a bit of a miserable day though, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit miserable.
Yeah.
Walking in today, right? Do you know I walked through, like, the, sort of the gay district of London and that?
Right. Well, you don't walk, you mince, don't you?
Well, just walking through on the way to work, and I'm always interested in their little shops and stuff that they have, right? Loads of...
Their little shops.
That's nothing to be ashamed of. If you want to go in and buy something, go in and buy something.
I'm just having a look at, looking in the windows and stuff. Little postcard just near the entrance.
Yeah.
That's meant to tease people in, to make people go, that sounds good, I'll nip in, right? Little postcard. Free butt plugs with every sale.
That's great. How did we get from 5p off milk to free butt plugs with every sale?
Wow.
What's society come to?
Well, it's because we're liberated, Rick.
Yeah.
You know, it's an open society.
What did you buy to get them? You didn't buy...
No, I didn't, but what's the purpose?
What, of the poster or of butt plugs?
Butt plugs, because I really honestly
You
don't...
shove them up your arse, don't you?
Whoa, slow down, bum. Shove them up your bum.
Yeah.
But when? Is that just like when you're doing whatever, doing stuff around the house, or...?
I think it's not to keep things out. Is it like you would use a plug in the sink to keep, the water in the sink?
Oh, if you're not gay. Get that, oh yeah, no, I know what you mean, yeah.
I don't know.
No entry.
What is it? I mean, I don't understand what
I don't know, I assume it either feels good or are they, well, I've got to be careful here, or are they sort of like, breaking it in?
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's like a shoehorn.
Sure.
or
yeah. It's like when you stick paper in your shoes if they're a bit tight.
Or those people who sort of like put little bits of wood in their lips, and then as soon they've got big plates in their lips.
Yeah.
Same as the butt plug. It means you can, you're ready for anything. I don't know, do I? Look at Carl's face!
Well, if you know what butt plugs are used for, then why not get in touch? Ricky.Gervais@xfm.co.uk.
What do you think? If there's any...
I can't believe we're already on this subject.
I know.
It's 1:05 and we're
I was gonna say then, if there's any people who use butt plugs, and I was thinking that Carl would have said, well, they're not up yet.
Yeah.
Because they go out late.
No, but...
But what? Is it, we're award-winning people. We've written a TV
Not
show.
on radio, though.
Respected.
Not on radio. We're rubbish on radio.
I know, but
We've got nothing to lose.
But I always say to you, Steve, that I like educating people and that. Now, the way I see it is I didn't know what they were.
Let's phone to go. Someone might know about butt plugs.
Alright, we'll get
No, get them on. Get them on. Ask them.
No, because they might say something dodgy.
Oh!
Yeah, whereas, what we've just been doing.
Just take a chance. Take a chance and tell them not to swear.
Well, you tell them.
Okay.
Right, Steve, do
I
you
haven't got my headphones on.
Hello, who's there?
Come on, hold on.
Who, sorry?
Nicholas.
Nicholas, hello, mate. You're not going to swear, are you?
No, I'm not going to
Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Keep them keen. What were you calling about?
I'm phoning about your plugs.
About, well, not my plugs, but sure, plugs in general. What, do you know much about them?
No,
Are you a plug user yourself?
No, I'm just thinking if maybe you've got some gay friends and you're spending the night at their place, you might want to use one.
Right. What, you mean experiment with them, or...?
No, so you can make sure they're not going to do anything while you're asleep.
Could I suggest, just lock the door? I mean, that is easier to me.
Can I make a bigger suggestion? That's probably the most homophobic thing we've had said on the show today. Thanks very much for your call. Right, okay, good. Well, that's why we shouldn't put people on the line. Just, without checking first. I think Carl's made a good point. That's the caliber of listener we've got. God Gave Rock and Roll to Ya by Kiss on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant.
I'm bloody glad he did, Steve.
Thank you, I am.
Cheers.
Karl Pilkington's with us as well. He's learned some stuff while the song's been on.
He's had a couple of calls, one from a bloke, one from a woman who worked at a sex shop, and you learnt quite a lot. I could see your eyes widening. What have you learnt then about butt plugs?
I haven't really learnt anything. I still don't understand
Yes, you have.
No, but the woman was just saying, it spices things up a bit.
Yeah.
Well, what do you need to do that for? The end result is always the same, I think. So why complicate it? Do you know what I mean? Are you with me though? These people who say, you know, they do stuff all night, it's like, what's the point? That's why I like short stories and that.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
So,
Excellent. I wish people could see what he looks like when he's talking
Yeah.
about it. Oh, in fact, he's in Heat next week, Steve.
Right. Is he?
Yeah, they put a picture of him. They could do the grab off the DVD,
Mm-hmm.
and he's behind the scenes, and he's got his little picture in Heat, and he hates it, don't you?
well, I'm a bit annoyed because I didn't want it in.
Why are you worried?
Just don't want people
Knowing what you
knowing
look
what I
like.
look like and that.
Why?
Were you on the DVD?
Yeah, but
It's to public domain. Anyone can take it off there and put it on the paper now.
but that's extras on a DVD, and I'm just thinking not that many people. If they watch it, they won't take it in, stuff like that.
What are you worried about then?
Just I don't. There's like me brother and sister and stuff who I don't see anymore. If they know what I look like now, they might.
What do you mean if they know what you look like now? They've just got to imagine little Carl Pilkington with no hair.
No, I've changed quite a lot because I work hard, don't I? So I've aged quite badly. Right. And I'm just thinking if they.
You used to have the hair of a Chinaman,
But
didn't you?
sorry, why is it a problem for your brother and sister to see you and to?
Because I don't see them anymore, do I? And they'll come out of the woodwork now.
Well, they're after your millions.
No, so they're sitting at home, they're looking at Heat, and there goes Carl Pilkington, oh, Carl's my brother, my brother, oh, maybe I'll go and see him.
I don't want the hassle.
But they could find out where you are anytime.
What's the hassle then?
It's just hassle of having friends and family and that.
You mean this, don't you?
Yeah, it's you know that I'm not into having
But
mates
if
and
either
that.
your brother or your sister came to your door, would you not welcome them in and give them a cup of tea?
Do you know what? He bumped into his sister, right, after about 7 years, in a car park somewhere, right? And she went, oh, I've got a picture of my new kid, do you want to see it? He went, not really, all kids look the same. And she went off in half.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but that's the problem though, isn't it? She hasn't seen me for years and years. That's the way I am. I'm not like being rude or anything. I'm just says what comes in my head.
Oh, don't give me that. Don't do that. I'm not rude. It's what comes in me head.
That's a rubbish excuse.
Not
know
rude.
me, know my ways.
Yeah.
Right, am I wrong then? Let's look at it. Let's look at what I said.
Hey, there's Nouts Obama's cakes. Know me, know my ways. Get out, you twiddle flunt. What is that? What sort of philosophy is that? Know me, I'm rude, and take it or
I'm
leave
not
it.
being rude.
You are being rude.
What, saying that all babies look the same?
It's your nephew. You didn't even bother to have a look. You could have been courteous
but
and
she's
had a
not-
look at the picture.
If it was a first, I'd say fair enough, but she's got loads of kids.
Oh, fair enough. What kind of woman is she?
David Bowie, Lady Stardust from Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. I went to see him Tuesday. I know you went to see him Wednesday, Steve. I mean, obviously I'm a mental fan, but I think objectively that was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
He's got the best band in the world. He played all the hits. It was an amazing show. The sound was incredible. Do you know what I mean?
With
It's
his
just
voice as well. I think people don't realise how
incredible.
his voice is.
It was absolutely
Soulful is the word I'd use.
brilliant. Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. You don't care, do you, Carl? We don't care about this.
You never
It's
really
good.
go to gigs, do you, Carl? The live music experience is not something you enjoy.
Can be alright. I
Yeah,
mean,
would you- go on.
I heard that someone else who went to the Bowie thing said that he sort of messed with the songs a bit, which would annoy me.
No, he didn't.
Not really.
Hardly
He
at
said,
all.
He said when they did Life on Mars, instead of saying something about just the tune of it, he messed with it so it wasn't the same. That would annoy me.
What would you do? Get up and leave?
But I mean, we're not talking Bob Dylan or Sinatra. He ad-libbed a little bit, I suppose, and it's his song, but it was totally faithful. He was singing the songs. What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, it's just don't mess with stuff. It's like if you went to see Titanic and then the boat didn't have a crash, you go, what they doing? It's like, oh, I fancied messing with it.
Well, he
That's what I
didn't.
mean,
Well,
don't
I
mess with it.
tell you, he didn't mess with it. Relatively speaking, he did not mess with the songs. They were brilliant renditions.
That would be a hell of a film, though, where Titanic gets to New York. Absolutely fine. What I think's interesting about that is how much therapy it provides for these often mentally unstable people, which is another important value of art, of course. People's self-expression, people being able to give a little piece of themselves through their work. Do you not see any value in that? How do you express yourself?
Whistle.
You whistle.
Yeah, I found over Christmas I whistled a lot more than I usually do. And I think that was just freedom.
What do you mean freedom?
It's like freedom.
Expand on this point, if you would.
Well, that's what art is, isn't it? It's you being free of all the world's heaviness on your shoulders.
See, that's a great quote, that. That's great, that. For art is freedom. I love that, because I think you've really hit on something there.
Would you include the free of all the world's heaviness?
Well, I know what you meant. I know what you meant there.
Would you include that one in it?
I mean, I would include the world's heaviness in my freedom. You know, some artists are attracted to the dark side, the heaviness of the world.
But I just want to return to you whistling as your artistic expression of freedom. I mean, why did you find yourself whistling more?
That's what was weird.
So just take us through a typical day. When would the whistling begin?
So this was that you spent Christmas down in Kent with Suzanne and her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I suggest something? Your freedom was thinking, I'm in my own place now, I'm going to annoy them.
Well, it was mainly, it's when we were playing Scrabble. And they were taking ages to have their go, and couldn't have the radio on because the boiler affects the radio.
You got boiler problems down in Kent as well?
It works, it just gives something off. Every time it kicks in, the radio goes all staticky.
Right.
So I just was sort of supplying the soundtrack.
And what kind of things would you be whistling?
It was like, I just sort of did a whistle medley. It was going from one thing to another.
A Wedley.
And a man was impressed. She was like, oh, you can whistle, can't you? I was going, yeah. And then she was saying, how loud can you go? I was just doing all different levels.
Sorry, this sounds like a scene from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The boiler's setting off the radio. I can whistle. Oh, you're good whistling, aren't you? Oh, yeah, Scrabble. Talk about outsider art.
I love the fact that Carl's life is like living in a home when you're in your 80s.
Yeah.
But you felt that this was your way of expressing yourself.
I just found it odd, because I don't whistle that much. I think just because I think I'm fed up most of the time when I'm in London. And you don't whistle when you're fed up. Whistling's a happy thing. You never get an angry man suddenly breaking into a
Well,
whistle.
the people who aren't whistling are usually pissed off. But yeah, the bloke who's whistling, it's like, it's the least... He's the least annoyed person in the room when someone's whistling. Same as holding a drill. The only person that noise doesn't annoy is the bloke who's drilling. Everyone else wants to punch his face in. Same with whistling. Whistling, there's no point in whistling.
No, there is.
No, there's not.
Don't know. I mean, our window cleaner was known as, like, you know, that's how you knew he was there. He always whistled. And in the end, he fell off his ladder, broke his front teeth.
Oh.
Retired.
Well, because he couldn't whistle.
That was it. It was like...
Well, yeah, he
can't
whistled all the time.
Can't whistle,
Oh, yeah.
can't clean windows. It's a bit tragic.
Could he take along a whistle? Just pop that in his mouth.
Yeah, I suppose he could have done. I didn't think of that.
What about a flute? Or a recorder? Not London's burning again. Fucking clean the windows and then fuck off.
He didn't really think this through, did he? He retired at the age of 28. And his whole family were bankrupt.
With no teeth.
Yeah.
And just a bucket and a squeegee.
Why aren't you working, Dad? Because I can't whistle.
I can't whistle anymore. And if the day you give up whistling is the day I give up window cleaning.
So you never whistle?
No.
I can't really whistle very well. No.
I don't whistle, but I can whistle better than that.
What, you did this for hours on end while playing Scrabble?
About 2 hours.
2 hours?
Hell.
Put my word down.
And this, sorry, can we just hear that again? Just hear, can we hear it?
So you were
that
whistling, you were whistling after you had your go as
Oh,
well?
yeah.
Fucking hell, Carl.
But hang on, let's just hear a bit. That is Carl's self-expression. That is his artistic self-expression right there.
Inane. No tune, no nothing.
There's mental patients who have smeared canvases with shit who have expressed more than you have in that.
Yeah, but it's not about other people. I'm not there to please other people.
You're there to annoy him.
What was the best word you came up with in Scrabble?
Don't knock me at Scrabble, because I do all right. What's weird is, when I play Scrabble, my brain can come up with words that I don't normally say.
Okay, this isn't... No, I'm intrigued here. Your brain can come up with words you wouldn't normally say.
Just words that I'd never drop into a sentence.
Tree, cat.
Go on.
Squirm. That's using a Q. It's worth 10, that. It's not bad, is it? No, I'd never say that.
I've never heard you. I don't think I've ever heard you say squirm. No, I don't think you're right, Carl. I've never heard you say squirm.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weird.
And yet your brain popped that one out.
And then, yeah, when it wasn't my go, just... Anyway, so that's sort of doing art for yourself as opposed for other people.
I don't think you can count what you just did then as art. Hobby maybe, craft, pastime. I don't think you can count that as art. I'm not being funny. I'm being a bit snobby here, but I think there's a difference between Beethoven and squirm. There's a cue in that. Robert Nozick did this thing that if you could go into a flotation tank and you led a whole virtual life and it was the best life possible, you did exactly what you've always wanted. You became the person you wanted to be, you did the best things you could ever dream of doing, and you literally couldn't tell the difference. So it was your life, okay? And you lived your biological life out in that tank and died at 80 and had the best life any person could ever have. You could pre-program it. Would you get into that tank knowing what you know now, knowing that you would have the best life ever, with no heartache, no upset, no loved ones dying?
So what's happening when I'm sort of having a packet of munchies?
Yeah.
Am I having them, or are they imaginary?
They're imaginary, but you can't tell the difference. It's the best packet of munchies we've ever had. I love the fact that you went into the flotation tank, and your one proviso was, are munchies as good?
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
I'm just taking it back to basics.
That is
Right.
basic.
You've got to pre-program your life. That's where you'd start, is it? Munchies must always taste magnificent.
Well, it's just if you can still enjoy the basic things in life, then that's when you can't go wrong.
You do. You enjoy them. It's the life you'd ever want to live, and
Yeah,
you're
bit
living
dangerous,
it.
That. Bit
Sorry?
dangerous.
Bit dangerous.
Why? Go on. Why?
Just, I don't know, because sometimes I think things don't happen for the best, right?
Right.
Sometimes you can sort of think, oh, I'll enjoy that if that happens. And then it doesn't happen, and you've had time to think about
But
what
this
would
is
have happened.
perfect. No, this is built in, because whatever happens is for the best. So not only when you're in this flotation tank are you enjoying yourself, that things just keep getting better or staying as
So
good.
you never have a bad day.
You never have a bad day.
But how long would that last for before you go and fed up with this?
Well, why would you get fed up with it? Because you do something else. It's the perfect life.
Bear in mind, you're not aware that you're in the flotation tank. You've made that deal, but then once you're in there, you don't know. You're not aware of being in the flotation tank. You're living your life, and it's perfect. You're happy. Well, we don't know how you would be happy. You just have munchies every day, and
Well, yeah, you'd
more
get in it
life.
then. You'd get in it. If you don't know you've got in this tank, if I somehow go to bed at night, someone injects me in the head, and then they go, right, stick him in the tank now, and then I wake up, packet of munchies there, sun's out, Suzanne goes, oh, it's a nice day, we'll go and do something nice. And I
Right.
go, you're meant to be at work. She goes, no, I don't have to go in today.
Right.
I go, all right, let's go out then.
Now, what's interesting there is that within this scenario, I gave you any life, you could do anything, and you chose the exact life you've got now, except Suzanne's got a day off. Now, I both love that.
Well, I was a
and
bit
sort of-
suspicious, though, that she's just taking a day off.
No way,
willy-nilly.
it's not happening now. It's not happening, really happening. You could do anything you like. But I like the fact now you're even questioning it and you're not in the tank, and why has Suzanne got a day off, right? Now, I love that, because that suggests to me that you're a nice, happy, satisfied, whatever you want to do it, contented person who's got the perfect life. However, it's almost like you haven't fully understood the possibilities. For example, you wake up, there's the munchies, sunny day, Suzanne's not at work. You go, why aren't you at work?
I'll
She
have a
goes
day
to
off.
you, hold on though, why are you flying? And you go, I just can. But you hadn't even thought that maybe you could fly or swim or hold your breath.
you just
No,
gonna
no,
have some
but-
munchies for
but
breakfast.
Hang on a minute, this is day one.
Oh, okay.
When you go on holiday,
Yeah.
like I said before, you don't turn up and go, right, it's 1 o'clock, jet ski for half an hour, bungee jumping 40 minutes after that, let's have a nice roti,
Yeah.
and, try a little cocktail.
And what do you do? What do you do when you arrive there?
Well, you get there,
Yeah.
the fella takes your case to the room,
Right.
you have that panic of, am I going to give him too much money? I don't know the currency well enough yet, I don't know how much
More
things
information
are.
than we asked for.
Yeah.
And
No.
the most mundane scenario I've ever heard.
No, but this is what happens in real life.
Okay, you're just telling us what happens when you go on holiday. What's your point?
Okay.
Because you don't want fun all in one go, you want to build to it, because that's sometimes part of it.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So-
anticipation. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, that little bit.
Yeah.
It's about things taking time, innit? And looking back at the journey and going,
Yeah.
how did I get here?
Okay, well,
Right.
can I ask a question? Because sorry, what I'm fascinated to know is if you decided to sign up to the float tank idea. Okay, you can design your perfect life.
But I prefer not to
Well,
know I'm doing it.
No, you
won't
don't. You
know.
won't. But I
You
want to
won't
ask
know.
this question. Imagine Ricky and I are the doctors. Okay, we can put you in this tank. All we need to know from you now is what your perfect life is. We're going to program it in the computer. You're going to wake up tomorrow. You won't know this conversation's happened. You'll have the perfect life. What, if you don't mind, we're going to take notes now. What is the perfect life? You're still obviously living with Suzanne.
We've got
but
munches.
What else?
We've got munches and we've got sunshine.
But what else would you like in your magical life your ultimate life?
Yeah, I don't like this idea. Suddenly Suzanne's never at work. I just think you need a bit of the badness to have the goodness.
Right.
right.
But the difference is when I next get British Gas round, they go, "Oh, Mr. Pilkington, yes,
Oh my God!
the boiler
so
is
he's like
fixed."
to have a virtual life, so his boiler's fixed.
No,
Yeah, but so your boiler still goes wrong in your dream, but it
you
gets
don't.
fixed.
But you don't
Yes.
even need a boiler. You could be the perfect temperature
But
all
live
the
in the
time.
Caribbean anymore. I don't like the idea of too much change. I don't want that much of a change.
But
to
you
my life.
won't realise, it won't feel like change.
Yeah, but it's that old chestnut, isn't it? It's the thing of like, what's my problem then?
Do you what is your method now of do you still throw little rocks at them and go over here?
Yeah, there was a kid I remember at our school, Mark Johnson, when we were like 10 or something, and we were talking about Guinness Book of Records, and Mark Johnson went, "Yeah, I'm in the Guinness Book of Records." I thought, I'm intrigued. You're a 10-year-old. I said, go on. He went, "No, I don't. Does this qualify? Does this qualify?" He claimed that he was in America once, and he went to see a baseball game, and supposedly that game was the world record for the number of people in an audience for a baseball game. It was like some massive stadium,
I
and this
reckon-
was the most people ever.
I'll tell you what it doesn't
apparently.
count.
And he claims he was there.
I don't reckon it was listed.
Well,
I don't reckon Mark Johnson got his name on that list.
exactly.
Ross
Exactly.
McWhirter would be going, "Well, that's the whole book."
But I
if we
think I
list
remember
them
him
all."
looking it up and going, "There it is. I was there."
Yeah, yeah.
Does that count? I mean,
no, I don't.
I've done a similar thing. There was an ice hockey game in Manchester.
Sure.
And they filled it. It was the arena.
Yeah.
They had an ice hockey game, and I was part of it. But I wouldn't go around bragging.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Now you've brought it up, I'm telling you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but you're not going to boast about it.
Nah,
Not going to get a T-shirt made.
What's the best thing you've ever done?
I don't know.
Come on. What's the best thing you've ever done that we will go, "Did you really do that, Carl?"
You see, it's weird because I've been thinking about this quite a bit.
course you have.
Because I'm 30 on Monday.
Are you?
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just going to try and get presents, aren't you, from the listener?
No. But
I say listener.
Yeah.
but I kind of was thinking, have I had a good 30 years?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Carl, is this going to get a bit melancholy now?
Yeah.
Because we've been having a few laughs at the expense of fat people. I'm not sure we want you to bring it down now.
No. We've
just-
been having a jolly laugh about people who are morbidly obese.
It's
Yeah.
always when my girlfriend's working away, I always think about odd things,
Do you?
odd times.
Doesn't she leave you shiny things or videos in so you don't get too depressed and you can...
Well, last night when I sent you that text. That was...
Right.
Right, let's play a record. This sounds intriguing, because I'm
Right,
worried
it
that
is
Carl's a
intriguing.
bit...
It's incredible. Right, play a record. Right, wait for this text that Carl sent me. Oh, All Along the Watchtower there by Jimi Hendrix.
Beautiful. Can I
Right.
just say straight away,
Go on.
Rick, before you carry on, we've had some people emailing in about the origins of sumo wrestling.
Yeah.
But they've sort of cut and pasted a huge ream of information from the web. Thanks very much, but we need bullet points, or not. Don't bother. You're wasting our time, frankly, with any too many sentences, proper grammar. We're talking about Ricky Gervais here.
Yeah.
So
Not that I'd read the bullet points either, you'd read them to
Exactly,
me.
but exactly.
So
But your concentration would lapse so quickly that it just
Yeah.
needs to be keywords. You know, arse, sumo, things like that.
Yes, arse wipe.
Yes,
I
arse
need-
wipe sumo correct.
Yeah, or maybe even a picture of someone wiping an arse with a tip next
Exactly.
to it. If you could get
Yeah.
words out.
If you could send through the origins of sumo wrestling in sort of diagram or sketch form,
Yeah.
or in a kind of comic book, or one of those flick books. That you just maybe draw a quick flick book, send that in.
But thank you very much.
But thanks for thinking of us.
I woke up this morning, yeah.
Feeling fine.
It's not a blues song. And I turned my phone on, and it was from Carl, and it went, "Forget it, I've made my mind up." And I thought,
Wow.
what is that? And I phoned
Forget
him.
it, I've made my
Yeah,
mind.
I went, "Carl, what is it?" He went, oh no, it's about the text I sent you last night. I went, well, what was it? I just got this text. He went, I was just wondering, I was thinking last night. He said, supposing you had to have your hands removed,
Sure.
right? And the doctor said, well, you can either have them stay like that with stumps, or I can sew feet there. What would you have? And I was bleary-eyed, and I went, the stumps? He went, yeah. I went, all right? He went, yeah.
And then
And
what
that-
was his follow-up text to that?
And then I got the text, it was obviously before it, and it went, and it was like quite serious. What would you do if surgery not doing your hands? Would you have stumps or the feet, right? Now the way, when I said, he's made his mind up, and I went the stumps, he went, yeah. I think secretly he decided on the feet, but was too embarrassed to tell me.
There's a little bit of what would you do? Because
But why did you think of this? Why did you think of this?
Girlfriend's
this come
away,
about?
right?
Yeah, no, that's not why you start thinking bizarre
I'll tell
surgery
you now,
devices.
right? I'll let you into my little mind, right? Last night, I had some beans on toast, right? 'Cause she was away,
It's good already.
She was away, she had some beans on toast, she went wild.
Yeah.
right? Now, I was stood up. I live on on a high street, right? So I'm washing up. I'm looking out the window. First thing that had my attention is I can look into other people's flats, right?
Yeah.
And it was weird how all these different lives were going on. I was watching them, and everybody had the telly on and was watching Volcano, right? Which was on last night.
Right.
And I thought, oh, that's weird, right? I can see them all watching it. And it was like a little Chinese lad who was dancing around in some underpants.
Yeah.
And then there's a little old woman who lives downstairs who was reading a book, and she's always reading a book every night, and it's like, I have a better life than her. And then there's like some sort of bouncer who's always getting ready to go out late at night with all the black on. He looks like a bouncer. So I was watching all this life going on. I thought,
Did you witness a murder while you were doing this?
Yeah.
it was like that sort of Sliver film where that bloke had loads of tellies watching
Yeah,
people's
sure.
lives. So that was going on in my mind. And then I was washing up, and I picked up the plate, and I thought, oh, it's amazing, isn't it? The human body, the way you can just sort of, I want to pick that up, and you do.
Yes.
And the way your hands work, right?
Yeah.
You've got 5 little digits, but it's just the right amount to do what
Yeah.
you've got to do, right? So I'm cleaning the plate.
Sorry, Carl. Stop. It's just the right amount. Might be one of the most genius things I've ever heard said. I would love David Attenborough to phone you up and say, Carl, how do I word this about the evolution of the mammalian front limb? Just go, we'll just say it's the right amount. Isn't it?
But it is.
It is,
One
of course
extra
it
would
is.
get in the way.
Yeah.
And one less would just make it that little bit more tricky when picking up a bit of a slippery dish.
Sure, or buying gloves. Yeah.
A slippery dish.
So then I was thinking, all right, imagine like going to the doctors and he's saying, yeah, everything's all right, your heart's good and everything, but
Your art's good? What, your Larry's, or...?
yeah, your heart, you're in good form and what have you. It's good news. I had Giano in earlier. He's not looking good.
Yeah. I had Fat Swaller.
But
yeah.
you're all right. But your hands need to come off.
Right. Blimey.
But
That's bad. Like, I'd get a second opinion initially.
But a better good news, I've got a nice pair of feet I can
Sure.
sort you out with.
Yeah.
And he puts them on, and then I was thinking, right, first of all, washing up, what would that be like? I thought,
Steve.
that'd be
It's
tricky.
right.
And then the second thing was, it'd probably ruin the sort of the shape of your jumper.
Because you have to keep putting the feet through there. Yeah.
And then I thought, but I could still cycle in
Okay.
to work.
You could run in.
Well, that's the thing.
You'd be really
Yeah.
fast.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I thought I could still cycle because I could balance, and then I thought, but the only thing is I probably couldn't pull the brakes. Because of the little short things.
Yeah.
And then, like you, I thought, but then again, you'd run in half the time. So that's what was going on in last night.
Right.
That's what I was thinking about.
Did you
How
ever...
long did this take?
Well, how long does it take to wash up?
Right. Because I imagine you just being there for, like, all night.
Probably 25 minutes.
How long did the little Chinese fella dance for in his pants?
He's always doing it. Last night he was at it for like 10 minutes.
Just, yeah.
And his girlfriend never sits in the same room as him. She's always sat in the bedroom.
She's going, you dance in pants again, I go in next
Yeah.
door.
Well, she was in the bedroom. She's always in the bedroom, sat on the floor, on the mobile phone.
Right.
All
Really?
the time, yeah. It's weird how people's lives are just like, it is like that Groundhog Day thing. It's like, he's jumping about in his underpants. The old woman sat there reading a book.
Yeah.
And that's what got me thinking about my life.
Do you think
I
she
thought,
ever
Are
goes...
you sure she's not dead? Every time you look down there, she's just flicking through it. She's just reading this book. The pages never turn. She never seems to finish it. She never moves from her chair.
Are you sure the Chinese
Her
girl's
cats
going?
are dead around her.
I'm going into next door again. That little
Yeah,
round-headed
the
fella's
smell.
looking in. He's looking in at me. The bouncer goes, "Don't worry, love. I'll go and beat him up." But he's always
true.
getting ready.
That's true. They're
They
probably...
see you staring at and washing up, going, "I could have feet here," and they get
Yeah.
scared. The old woman's dead. Oh,
Carl,
dear.
can you tell us roughly which neighbourhood you live in, so that we know?
It's central.
Central, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, imagine if that little... Was he a Chinese fella, did you say?
Yeah.
Imagine if he was listening now. I'd love him to call in and explain his actions.
Well, he might be on some other radio station talking about a lad who's always washing up and looking at his hands in a mysterious way.
Yeah.
But do we have this doctor that would go, "Well, all right, Carl, you can either leave them as stumps or I've got a lovely little pair of feet." Why? I mean, I told Jane this, and Jane went, "Is that the only choice?" You could say, "Could I have some dead man's hands?" Have you got any? Where'd you get the feet from? Where'd you get the feet from? Can I have? What would you rather have then? Human feet or monkey paws?
Well, I mean, that wasn't an option last night. That if the doctors said...
No, it
this
wasn't
is-
an option last night. But don't forget, it's in your head, Carl. This didn't happen.
No,
This
but I'm
is-
just saying at the time, that's all the doctor had to offer.
But you know, it's your head. You can go anywhere. No, it wasn't a real doctor to offer. It's in your head. You can go anywhere. You're not trapped.
Yeah, but if you can do anything, then you'd say we'll sort us out some other hands.
Fair point. That's fair record.
Oh, Carl.
But
Oh, you're amazing.
it's because I work here, though, and there's a lot of gigs going on all the time, and then you get to a point when, you know, you just go, oh, get a bit fed up with that.
Well,
Right.
when was the last time you went to a live experience?
Well, I've been to gigs, but the one that springs to mind probably is when I first sort of tried a gig out, and it wasn't a music one. It was Bottom. Do you know with
Bottom the live thing with
With Rick Mail and Edwin
that,
Limited.
yeah, in
When was
Manchester.
that?
Years ago, because it was in Manchester in about, I don't know, 87, 88 or something, and I was set up for like a blind date. Right, this a mate of mine sort of set me up to see this.
What?
girl.
So you said let's go to Bottom?
Well, I didn't tell her. I just said meet us at the Apollo.
I bet she was over the
8
moon, wasn't
o'clock,
she?
Met her there. Said right. there you go.
Romantic?
Going to see some middle-aged men run round in pants. Brilliant.
Well, it's good. It's one of them things that afterwards you've got something to talk about, haven't you, and stuff.
Yeah.
So
And
was it a good gig?
Yeah, it was all right. Sort of bought some April fruits and that at the start of the night.
Yeah.
I think she liked that, and then we watched Bottom. Then afterwards had a bit of a chat, and then
You didn't see her again, I take it.
I would have done right because she was all right looking and everything.
Yeah.
But when we were chatting, she said she had a problem with a marrow
What?
and that.
She what?
She had a problem with a marrow.
She had a problem with her marrow?
Yeah.
You mean her bone marrow?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant she had one stuck of her fanny.
No, just a...
Thanks for that, Rick. That's an image I can't get out of my head.
No, I wondered what. Oh, I see. A marrow. I thought
A
you said
marrow.
a marrow. Her marrow.
And is that serious, that? You
Well,
see, I just was put off it because I thought... if you
Well,
were
it's,
sat
I think it's more serious than problem with a marrow.
Yeah.
I mean,
with a marrow and that.
It's an idea if you're bored with butt
I
plugs.
love it. I love it. Everything he says is like someone from Kes.
It was just that thing that... Because,
You didn't want to go out with a girl who might be ill in some way.
well, yeah, I thought, what's the point in spending time with her, spending money on her and stuff, and then she's going to die on me?
Oh!
No, but seriously,
God!
no, but I'm just, see, this is what annoys me.
Oh,
You asked me to be honest, but
Oh.
I'm just saying, what's the point in me getting upset and stuff?
No, but it's not the. It was the one thing he said. What's the point in spending money on her if she's gonna die anyway? You've got to realise that's
No.
not a normal thing to say.
No, but what's the point in getting to really knowing someone and thinking, oh, she's really nice, I want to spend my life with her. It's good that she told me when she did.
Carl! What, during Bottom? I got. This is the most amazing thing you've ever said.
What do you...
Steve, don't you understand what I'm saying?
But no, because... What? Well, firstly, it's the assumption that she's going to drop dead and you're going to think,
I'm
well, I
not
just
a
bought her some
doctor, I'm
April
not a
fruits,
doctor,
I'm
am I?
livid.
I don't know what it means when you've got a problem with a marrow and that, but she looked pretty serious when she was talking about it. So I was like, oh.
Christ almighty!
I don't understand what's so bad about that.
Play a record! I'll tell you. I'll explain to you during the break. Play a record.
Libertines?
Yeah.
If you're morally objectionable, why not email ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
It's okay, he's an idiot.
True.
Modest Chambers, Kings of Leon on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Steve,
Yes.
I want to talk to you. I think it was, might have been Wednesday night. I was in the pub. Phone goes. Karl goes, "Are you watching that thing about parasites?"
Right.
I went, "No, I'm out." He went, "Oh, fella with a maggot in his head."
Fellow with a maggot in his head.
Yeah. And they go, "Oh no, he's pulling it out now." Oh, God. I said, "Well, I'll get it, I said, "Yeah, see you later." About 5 minutes later, I get a message on my phone. Beep, beep. I look at it, it just says, "Oh no, there's a fella with his fish up his cock now."
There's a fellow with a fish up his cock.
Yeah.
Right.
Do
Okay.
you want to explain that, Carl? Is it one of those little ones that swim up if you're having a slash in the Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it? But it was still, like, stuff like that. It started off with,
What does the fish do when it gets in there?
just sits there.
Why
Well, what else can it do?
No, but why does it go up there?
Dunno, I didn't listen to that bit. There's a bit, it started off with a fella who, had a bit of meat and got a tapeworm inside him.
Yeah.
And he grew it for however long, and then it came out at the end, it was about 7 foot long.
On purpose?
Yeah, he did it on purpose, yeah, for the programme, right?
I think, yeah. Probably slimming, isn't it?
Well, I was thinking that, you know, I mean, you're a fan of Waller, could he purposely have about 8 of them?
What, Rick Waller?
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Because they were saying how they eat, you know, a lot of stuff when they're in you, they just eat all
Well, they
of
take enough so you don't die, and nor do they, yeah. But I mean, you've got to keep taking them out, haven't you? Because you'll still have the same weight, because it's got to go somewhere. So you'll have them in you. What you got to do is, like, let them eat your meal and then take them out.
Do you think worm watchers will catch on?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that happened, right? And then, yeah, there was a woman with a maggot in her head.
A woman with a maggot in her
Yeah,
head?
she went on holiday, it got in there somehow. And,
Stowaway.
it just, oh, it was massive. And the thing is, she had a hole in her head, and she's there being interviewed with the doctor, like, and you can see it just sort of sticking its head out. Like, do you know when you see a cartoon with a maggot in an apple?
Yeah.
And it looks out, and looks around like that?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just take it out there and then?
I think they could have done, but the doctor's messing about. It's like, well, it's good for the show, isn't it? And they left it in there.
Right, that's libelous.
Well,
That is libelous.
but I found it weird. Why not just grab it? When
Because there must be a reason. There must be one of those medical reasons that you don't really know about, Carl.
right. And another bit. This was the best one, right?
Grab it!
Right. There's this fella, and he was on his bike, right,
Yeah.
cycling to work or whatever, and he sort of sees this thing in the corner of his eye. Right?
Literally in the corner of his eye. Or, you mean he saw
He just said he saw
in his
something.
peripheral
He
vision?
saw
Okay,
something
yeah.
and thought, what's that?
Yeah.
So he thought, oh, doesn't matter, whatever. And he stops off at a cafe, right, get a little scone, the tea or whatever. And he goes in there, and he's sat down, and the waiter comes over, he says, yeah, what do you want? He says, I'll have a scone and a tea. He goes, alright then. So he goes to get it, comes back. As he puts the tea and the scone down, his face is like, what is that? Right? Like a look of frightenedness on his face. Right? Drops the tea and legs it. So the fella's going, what? So he legs it after the bloke and goes, what? And he says, oh, something came out of your nose. That was massive.
Sorry, something came out of the
Listen,
guy's
this is all
survey.
true because people would have watched it, so don't start saying it
Sorry,
didn't
but hang on,
happen.
I just need to clarify. The guy
I
on the bike...
I don't believe he ran away.
Wait a
I don't
minute.
believe he legged it. I don't believe he had a look of frightenedness on his face, and I don't believe he said something massive came out your nose.
Wait a minute.
And I don't even believe he had a cup of tea and a scone. These are the things that I think are embellished.
But who had something coming out of his nose? Was it the guy serving the scone?
The one who was on the bike who ordered the scone.
Yeah, but what
It
was
came out
it?
of his nose.
What was it? Came out of his nose.
Right. So he goes home and he thinks, I've got to sort this out because it's not good and that. So he
But what? No, it was out of his nose. So I mean, it poked out of his nose. It didn't come out.
It just said hello and then it...
It was like the maggot in the head.
Yeah,
he just
yeah,
popped,
it just-
popped his head out, had a look around, and went back in.
Why did the bloke drop the tea and run?
Well, it's weird, isn't it?
Alright, so he goes home.
He goes home and he goes, oh, God, you know. So he sits in front of the mirror, and he's sat there waiting. This thing comes out. Again, sort of looks round, goes back in again, so he goes, oh.
No scones.
Right?
Not interested.
So he goes, I've got to sort this out. He goes to the doctor's, says to the doctor, I've got something up my nose. It just keeps coming out and having a look round, going back in.
Didn't say that.
The doctor's like, oh, I haven't heard of that before. Right?
Didn't say that.
So sat there. It does it again. The doctor looks, you know, frightened again.
Runs away?
Yeah.
Well,
he's got a look of frightenness.
He had a look of medical frightenness. He dropped his stethoscope and legged it.
No, he said, I know what it was. So what? So you got a leech up your nose. He had a leech about that long.
What's radio?
Well, how long's that?
4 inches.
4 inches coming out of his nose. Next time it stuck its head out, he grabbed it, pulled it out. That's horrible, though, isn't it? Isn't it?
Can I just remind people, just let people know, when Carl was saying it was about that long, and Ricky said 4 inches, he was using his fingers.
Oh yeah, he didn't have his... No.
There's nothing else there.
Feather out, no.
So he had a leech up his nose. How did he get a leech up his nose?
I don't know, again, I'm not that bothered about that bit. It's just all the footage and stuff.
Oh, play a record.
Brilliant programme.
Yeah.
It's just the same, he just sees that, he gets fast, he doesn't read on. His education is just sound bites and self-embellishment in his own head.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
see,
like,
'cause people-
he gets all his news from Ananova and he just reads the headline.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he just doesn't bother reading it.
But you know, he considers that education. He gets annoyed if you think that more
Please
information
don't
is useful.
get going on that, 'cause I'll talk about that later. If you're
I'll
gonna
tell you
start
what.
having a go.
Right, okay. Okay, we're gonna play a song now, and I'm gonna tell London Carl's confusion over evolution.
Right.
Are you two?
Oh, brilliant.
Sweet.
First thing.
104.9 next to 104.9.
But no, it's not odd. You see, there was a woman on the estate who did use. Have I told you about Miss Peggy before?
No.
It rings a bell. Go on.
I think I told you ages ago. It's this fat woman who used to be on the estate. She had a 3-wheeler bike. And her
Push
husband's-
bike, pedal bike.
Yeah, like a tricycle thing, but a big one.
Right.
She used to sit her husband in the basket in the back, cycle about, what have you.
Yeah.
She was known as Miss Piggy. Anyway.
Oh, is this the one that she used to beat him up so your dad pretended to be a policeman?
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, well, the way she used to communicate, she used to always go in quick save and nick biscuits. And if anyone went up to her to say, stop nicking the biscuits, she'd pull out like a little mirror out of a bag, and she'd look in it, but talk to you via the mirror.
Oh, man!
What?
This
So she was
place you
insane.
put up, it's weird, isn't it? It's
It was
like-
really weird.
Like
It used to scare me.
It's like a Salvador Dali painting. you exist in there.
Yeah. It's really, really
So
weird.
hang on. So she used to talk to people through the mirror because she was mental.
I couldn't sit, watch the telly, and look at me watching the telly in the mirror all night.
No,
That's
no,
weird.
that would
Why?
be really weird.
It's really weird, Carl.
I'd be very conscious of myself.
No,
Conscious
I
of the
think
way
it
I'm
gives you,
sat.
it gives you confidence and that. And if you are
Gives you
sort of,
confidence.
well, yeah, because you're seeing yourself more and you pick up what habits you do and stuff like that.
So what have you changed through your viewing of yourself?
I sort of grew a beard the other week, just something different to look at for a bit. And then you get sick of that. It's like a piece of art. Change that. Have a bit of a shave.
Can you see the back of the telly in the mirror?
A little bit, yeah. If the flat's a mess, it's a mess twice.
Oh, God! Oh. Sculptures. What do you think of sculptures? I mean, because that's something that really is getting into the 3D world there, isn't it? No longer do you have to represent something as 3D. You can make something. You know, is it... You know, the statues are amazing, aren't they?
They're clever, aren't they? I mean, they always look the same.
Well, that's not true, is it? Because recently there was quite a controversial one, a huge one in London, the pregnant thalidomide woman. What do you think of that?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Thoughts?
I wouldn't have it in my house.
Well, there wouldn't be room because it would just be you, Suzanne, and a pregnant thalidomide watching telly.
I don't know what he was trying to say. It's
Maybe she was saying, okay, we've had the human form. This is an example of the human form.
yeah, but do you think she started off trying to do normal, and it was like, oh, chipped a bit off?
One of the arms got chipped
Well,
off.
it makes you wonder, doesn't it? And why? You see that square, Trafalgar Square. You've got that. Nelson's column. He's got one arm and a leg missing or something, and a patch over his eye. Then you've got the thalidomide. Why can't they just do a full person?
Well, that was what they saw. That was what the artist saw.
It's about confronting us with certain preconceptions of what we expect of the human form, what we expect of sculpture. It's probably a little ironic comment as well on the famous Rodin. It's wrapped up with all kinds of ideas of maternity, of the human form, of what sculpture is. Why wouldn't you put that in a big public place?
But what about the subject? Did you think, who's that subject? Who is that woman?
No, not really, because thalidomides are around, and we've all seen one. It's not like a shocking image. It's one of life's little things that it chucks out. There's some out there, so
Amazing.
it's not
Amazing.
shocking, is it? I don't understand what you mean. I think what I thought is it just goes to show we're sort of running out of ideas.
What do you think of people who are so angry at art they try and censor it or they try and destroy it? Do you think art should ever be censored?
It's where you put it. If it's in a gallery, then it doesn't have to be censored. If it's in Trafalgar Square, where everyone's wandering around having a nice time, you don't want a 12-foot cock. So it's all about where you put it. I think some art looks better because of where it is. Angel in the North, that's a bit of art, but it's a bit of a surprise, isn't it? You're driving along a miserable motorway.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that over there? Gives you something for your eyes to look at again. Motorways are the most boring place to drive. But you go, oh, look, there's a bit of art over there.
Yeah, but
Stick that
then
Angel
again,
in
should
the
you be
North.
looking at art when you're going at 70 miles an hour along a motorway?
Well, yeah, because it's really big. You can keep your eye on it and
Look in the mirror.
It's not a problem.
Wait till you go past it and look in the mirror like normal.
So you like the Angel of the North?
Because it's something in the middle of nothing.
Right, but if you put it somewhere else...
Stick it in Trafalgar Square, you'd go, oh, more clutter.
I remember we were shown the cartoon version of Animal Farm when we were about like 15, 16. We were discussing it afterwards about, Napoleon, oh yeah, great, oh yeah, communism versus, the poor proletariat and all this. And this bloke went, you lot make me sick. It was just a nice film about some animals. Brilliant.
Yeah. What's your take on that, Carl? No, go on, what's your point? Because you can see the irony there, can't you?
I haven't seen it.
No.
If you want to do a serious point, don't use animals.
No? Well, I disagree with there because I think my favourite is probably Charles Dickens, and I think the greatest story ever told is A Christmas Carol, and there's only one way that could ever be improved, and that is a Muppet Christmas
That's
Carol.
absolutely right, yeah.
So, and I think that you could, and I think people could take a lesson from that and maybe do other films with the Muppets. A Muppet Schindler's List.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could make it so moving, couldn't you?
Schindler's List in space.
Miss Piggy's Choice. Have we talked about that?
What?
About things like that in art as well. Do you think that bringing something so serious to the masses, like films do, things like the Holocaust and like Sophie's Choice, where she has to choose which child lives and dies?
Why does she have to pick?
Well, because the Nazis were horrible, nasty, evil people.
And which one did she pick?
I don't think that's the point. I don't think that's the point.
I love the idea that
this is not a betting game.
No, but I imagine this is like Deal No Deal. It's kind of you down to the last two. Which one are you going to go for?
God. But why did you ask which one did she choose? Because even if he'd said the names, Robert and Alison, what difference would it make? You don't know the story. Why is
No,
it
because
that
then I'd ask more. I'd ask more then. If he said Alison, I'd go, well, what was it with Alison? What did she have over Robert? That's what films are meant to do. You question it. Whenever I watch a film with Suzanne, I always say at the end, what was going on there?
That's because you're an idiot. That's because you've just watched Muppet Christmas Carol and you can't understand why a frog's able to talk.
I'm all for films with a good storyline.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's a perfect point. What an extraordinary point.
Guys, he's gonna follow this up, mate. He's gonna follow
He's got
this up.
something there. He's got
Come
something
on,
here.
Carl. Go on then. What's your
No.
take on films?
Films are really good. You can get lost in them.
Right.
And
You like one with a good story?
I mean, whenever anyone asks, it's always the same. It's Elephant Man. It's Kez. Mission Impossible 2.
Mission Impossible 2. These are what you consider great works
No, I'm
of
just
film
saying
art.
these are ones that I've enjoyed recently. There's so many films that I haven't seen, yet you always say, "Oh, have you seen so and so?" You
Well,
love
Mission
it.
Impossible 1.
And there's good news for you. 3's out.
That's true. One of the most striking art exhibitions that I ever attended, Carl, was an exhibition of outsider art. Something I'm sure you're very familiar with. Outsider art, of course, is work that is made by people who are often institutionalized for mental health problems, or they are just incredibly, the people who aren't in any way part of the art establishment.
Well, right up to psychopathic murderers, clinically insane mass murderers would count as outsider art. I went to an outsider art exhibition in New York. It was incredible, and I bought a painting of this guy. He's a chronic schizophrenic, and he paints in tar, like road tar, that he gets from roads, and he paints in that on wood he finds in sort of skips, and it's incredible because it's sort of like scratched in, and it's amazing. And there's this thing of Jesus being helped down off the cross. Admittedly, I was walking around there going, "This is fucking mental," and James was going, "You've got to stop saying that," because of course some of the people are mental. There was one bloke who done a sculpture of a skull, right? And underneath, it was like a little head with his teeth. Underneath, he'd put a sign that said "real teeth." Where did he get the real teeth from?
All the way back to 1999. When was it?
I think it was. No, 99.
Was it?
No, was it?
About that.
I didn't realise so many people were fans of the Lost Prophets. Everyone's been phoning in, emailing in, telling us they were from Cardiff.
Yeah. Welsh band. Now, you're going to tell us what tickets you've got, Carl. What have we got to give away?
Tickets for...
Now, we kept it secret. We said, no, tell us on air, so it's a big surprise. This is going to be, if it's going to be really rubbish, is it? This, whatever these tickets are, right, is a testament to how much they rate us here at XFM, how much they rate our show and care about us. What tickets have we got to give away? A top show featuring Mickey Gervais and Steve Merchant and Pilkington. What tickets have we got to give away?
Tickets for K-Fest.
Right, go on.
What's that?
It's like a rock thing that's going on tonight.
Right.
If you're into that Welsh...
Right, well, name some of the bands. Names of the bands.
Nile.
Go on.
Right.
That's one of the bigger ones. Mark Lanigan.
Who?
Not Lanners. Is Lanners playing? He's not really.
Yeah.
Mark Lanigan really playing there?
I think so.
God, who's that?
What?
Who's that?
Who is Lanigan? Is he someone you went to school with? Who is Mark Lanigan? Who else is
Who
on?
is Mark Lanigan? Is he the promoter? Who is he? Is he head
Is this in
security?
a pub in Camden?
You got Niall.
We're giving away tickets to the K-Fest.
Hold on, let's have a look. This is the enemy. Mark Lanigan, Masters of Reality. Right, okay. Who else? We got Niall, we got Mark Lanigan.
Niall?
Who else?
I can't pronounce this one.
Oh, let's have a look. That's good.
Bethlehem or something.
Bethlehem?
Behemoth.
Behemoth?
Behemoth, is it?
Let me see. God, no one can
Oh.
read. I expected from a northerner, but not from a university-educated man like you,
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Let me have a look. Where are we now? I can't even find it on the page. Here we are, yeah.
Anyway.
Behemoth. Yeah, Behemoth open
But hold on, I
proceedings.
just thought of something. We're not really giving those away, are we? Surely we're asking some sort of financial reward for them. Right, okay, right. Is there a competition or
Now, let's
something?
just... South Carolina Death Metalers, Niall.
Okay, alright,
Head to
okay.
K-Fest.
Yeah,
that'll mean something
K-Fest,
to some people.
we've got a pair of tickets to give away?
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to go to, K-Fest, it's the Mean Fiddler, Charing Cross Road, and that's, tonight, is it? Mm-hmm. The tickets would be $7.50, but we're giving away for free.
Why don't we say we're giving away for a £5?
No,
That's still a saving.
But I'll tell you what, if you can call in, what's the number?
08 700 800 123.
Yeah, and if the question is because they're quite sought after. There's big names here like Niall and that what's his name? Lanigan's on. The question is who wants to go?
Yeah.
So if you can call in and answer that question, who wants to go to that? Then you could be one of the lucky winners. Right. After this, some great chat and music.
Could you also explain who Mark Lanigan is?
De La Soul, watch out. Well, we're wrong. The lines went mental.
It's amazing, isn't it?
So that and they knew all about them and where they were from, what they were like, and the tickets.
Death metal's just something that's it's obviously passed me by, but it's obviously huge.
It is huge. It's sort of huge without being sort of in the public eye.
Yeah.
Famous. I think it's probably the only real alternative out there now, isn't it? Because everything else is sort of mainstream. There's no real alternative music.
Even
raps.
hip-hop?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Slipknot kind of have snuck in, haven't they? Because their album went to #1 or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible.
It still gets people saying, you know, son of mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, you're probably not. You're probably a daughter or something. I can't remember. You can't, I
It's
can't
like,
really
so
tell.
people who phone up about the heavy metal, though, they always sound such nice people.
Yeah.
The women always sound attractive. You know, if you meet them, though, they're like 8 foot tall.
I
and
know the
those
fact
huge
that
boots.
we suddenly sound like two old ladies on a bus. And you know what? I spoke to one of them rappers and he was as nice as pie. Helped with me shopping and everything. I thought he was going to kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am 27 years old now, Rick. 28, according to Carl.
Yeah.
Talking of my birthday, you know, we did it was my birthday a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the stuff that my dad had given me as presents in the past. And anyway, my sister told me that he'd listened to some of it in the car driving up, and he was a bit quite upset. And he had mentioned
really?
it to me. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was all affectionate.
It was done with
wasn't
affection, but it was like we were slagging off his gifts, which were awful.
I know.
Yeah.
He's probably listening again.
Well, possibly.
That happened to me once. I remember telling a story on XFM, and I'll tell you the story in case you've heard it, but I'll tell you. What it was, I used to live in just a little one-room sort of bedsit with my girlfriend, sort of in it was sort of like 80s or and it was just awful. It was one room, and we had a bed, and it's sort of like the kitchen was the bedroom, so our bed literally
The kitchen was the bedroom?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
just a bed in there, and then like a it was just one room we had. That's all we could afford. Yeah,
Bit like
and so we had
mine.
yeah, and so you know, you were sleeping in bed. Your head was by the fridge, and the sink was by your feet, and you had to go out and down the stairs to a communal toilet. So I'm a man. I could just pop out of bed on tiptoes. The sink was quite high, and have a little wee in the middle of the night. So put him and that's fine.
Into the sink, not the fridge.
Into the sink, yeah. So that was fine. And sometimes I'd just hear Jane go, "Oh, at least run the tap afterwards." And I go, all right, run the tap, right? And I just remember once going, at least take the dishes out first. Because I used to sort of lift, if it was just full of dishes, I used to lift them up and sort of like aim underneath it, and then it was quite hygienic. It was, you know, but
What do you mean it was quite hygienic?
well, I was
In
tired.
what world is it quite hygienic?
I was tired and drunk, and yeah, and it was just it was a horrible place, and we had mice.
You urinate quite a lot, don't you? You have a problem with urination after lots.
Well, I worry about getting caught, like on a tube. I have to, you know, I don't take tubes anymore.
Well, I listen to my dad's advice is never pass the toilet and not use it, because you never know when you might have to use one again.
That is exactly mine,
You might not see one for a long time.
Oh, but anyway, sorry, what I was going to say was, Jane's mum was listening.
Oh, so that story, when you told that story?
And I said, Ricky's doing that, so the story about weeing in the sink. As you went, no. He makes an awful lot up. He makes an awful lot up. Yeah, that's what we have to say. No, I was joking. You know, I didn't mean it. So, you know, I think I got away with it. Although Mum did watch me every time I went out to the kitchen when I was at her house. You like, yeah, just go to. Right,
Do you want a corned beef sandwich? No. If so, just I'll have it on some
Toilet's
newspaper.
over there, Ricky. I know. The toilet's over there. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oasis. Don't Look Back in Anger. A classic there.
Absolutely.
From the height of Britpop.
My God, it's mad to think it's a classic now, and I was there at the beginning.
I know. I can't believe it. By the way, urinating isn't bad. It's a good thing. It's getting, you know.
No, obviously it's good getting the. I'm not saying the urination's a bad thing. I wasn't damning the fact that you needed to urinate. It was the fact you were doing it in the sink.
With dishes, you probably
exactly.
But you know, see, the thing is, in you know, there are some societies where if you urinate on something, you sort of own that thing.
What society is that?
Cats, for example, cats.
Right.
So I mean, you know, cats are, you know, enigmatic creatures, aren't they? Mysterious creatures. I mean, so if I, you know, I sometimes I mean, I own a lot of things through that.
Right.
Sinks, telephone boxes.
Yeah.
You know, lots of fences.
My shoes.
Your shoes once, yeah. When I was chasing you around Robin's shoes once.
Yeah.
You'd be alright around jellyfish, because apparently
Is this a band that's playing tonight? It is a band, isn't it, actually?
It was, I
they're
think.
on
Yeah.
a K-Fest.
Yeah.
No, if you get stung by a jellyfish,
Yeah.
we stops it hurting.
Is that true? It's just for anyone listening. I mean, it's probably best to check that maybe on the internet or phone a doctor before you try that. I mean, because although Carl has got a lot of useful information, he's not a medically trained man.
Yeah, because I got in trouble once coming out of the sea at Bognor, running around, people going, wee on me, please.
Yeah.
Please wee on me. Just running around.
I'm laughing, but
Yeah.
you know.
But, have you ever wet the bed?
I honestly haven't.
I've
Ever?
never wet the bed. Never wet the bed.
Never.
Okay, let's play a record then.
Oh, we did
What?
a bit of.
You've wet the bed, have you?
Wow, not
Go on.
as such.
Well, you may as well tell us.
Well, yes then.
Well, is there a story attached?
Well, I remember once, right?
Well, was this when you were a child?
Sort of.
How old?
26.
Okay.
And, oh, God. Oh, it's another story involving... Anyway, right, once...
Just wasn't a sink handy.
Oh, God.
Come on,
okay.
Gervais.
Well, once... I went to, stay... went down to Brighton with, Jane for a party, her sister's party. And, we were staying at parents' house, her parents were away. And, first of all, I got too drunk. I don't think I'd known her very long, might have been. And, I remember... It was a fancy dress party, and I didn't go as fancy dress, but I remember laying on the floor trying to trip people over because I was so drunk.
The sort of thing that's hilarious if you're drunk.
Yeah, imagine Jane going, "Oh, that's my boyfriend. I'm so proud." To all her family, and then we got a cab. I remember I got a cab journey home that I didn't remember, and apparently the cab driver going, "Is he all right?" Because I was going, "I'd be sick. I'd be sick." Jane, going, "Yeah, he's fine." Then I laid on the bathroom floor, and Jane timed it. It was 45 minutes. Me singing "Right by Your Side" by the Eurythmics. And then I went to bed, and apparently I got up in the middle of the night, walked round the bed, and just thought the bed was a toilet. And Jane said, "Ricky!" I went, "What?" She went, "You're pissing on me." I went, "Well, you don't need to wake me up." And then just got back to bed.
You urinated on the bed?
All right, yeah.
Bit of hip hop.
Oh, man alive. Hip hop hooray!
Hip hop hooray!
Oh, it's the opportunity where Steve gets to play one of his classic hip hop tracks, something maybe you've not heard before, Rick.
Can I just say, I actually slightly regret telling a story about me weeing.
Yeah, well, it doesn't stop there. I'm sure there's more. I'm sure you've told me more in the past.
All right, let's get on with the hip hop track.
This is from, I need to just introduce it briefly, it's from an artist called Mad Skills, who on this record claims that he has written loads of other people's songs, which I think is true. The only thing I would say is that the names of the artists he's supposedly written for have been bleeped out, but of course, because it's also a radio-friendly version, all the swearing's been bleeped out as well, so there's a lot of bleeping, but if you can piece it together from it,
give us a minute.
it will actually be quite a good song. Go on.
I'm gonna actually...
No, you don't own it by urinating on it.
Yeah, I am.
No, you...
Yeah.
Put it away.
Just a little dribble, that is mine now.
That cost me over £5.